I am here at Roman Atwoods Laundromat and we're doing a deal breakdown. I pulled his property card. I know how much you paid for this, Roman Atwood. So we're going to break his deal down and talk about all the financial numbers, because it's so important that if you want to own yourself a laundromat or even a car wash, that you know how to break the numbers down. He's got so many really cool things going on in here, and he's also got some major problems like washing machines that are almost as old as I am. Let's go in today's video and break down Roman Atwoods Laundromat deal right here in Central Ohio.
Welcome to owning a laundromat in Newark, Ohio.
Howdy.
Hi, how are you?
Peachy, are you Linda? We had talked to Mr. Atwood and he said he was okay with me coming down here and filming for a bit today. I know he was talking about putting front load washers here, which these are soft mount. So these are soft mount top load washers. They're on shock absorbers. And he was looking, and unless he repours a concrete pad here, it'll rip the whole entire floor out of the building. These are Wascomat 74s. They're probably as old as me. I don't want to lie about these 74s. The manufacture date typically is on the back side of this. 1998, so it's not as old as I am. So the thing is, like with this laundromat, the equipment is going to constantly be going down till he takes the equipment from the other location. For reference, guys, I have had to fight crackheads before. I have had to deal with multiple crackheads, which the topic right now is the fact that when Roman bought this place, he had a certified crackhead working for him, or a spoonie, I don't know. Person of the rock.
Definitely been through the ringer. Holy crap. The girl that was supposed to come in for the evening shift called off this morning. I'm like, crap, no one would fill in for her. Text her, I said, is there any way you can come in just for a couple hours? I closed down like the last couple tanning slots, so never returned my call or text for hours, and then finally said she'll come in. So she ends up showing up. So my friend and I, her parents run it, so she kind of knows how to do everything. She's filled in before. I was like, let's go like grab dinner really quick before we go home. So at dinner, I get a call.
By the way, I knew when she asked that it was going to be an absolute disaster. Like, I tried to fight her leaving.
The other lady called me. She's like, Brittany just called me. She's hearing people in the ceilings again. And she said tonight's her last night. Okay, so I'm like, all right, I literally, like, I have to go back. So I go to turn in and I look at the building. I look at my friend, I was like, do you see this right now? She's outside yelling at a customer about a little boy that also hears the voices, but no one believes him either. Yelling, arms in the air, just screaming at this customer. And then she said, there's the effing new owners there, as I'm pulling in.
Heck yeah.
Before I even walk in, she comes out. She's like, girls, come over here. Let me tell you what's going on. And she tells us, she's like, she told me she was on crack and all of this stuff.
I knew it.
Like, yeah, she told her everything. And I was just like, oh, dear Lord.
It's absolutely an insane situation. And it's very similar to the problems that I've had at my own laundromat business. If you're not conscientious and careful on who you employ, you can have problems like that. And when your employees act like that, they can run off your customers, which costs you money. Roman had no choice. He took a business over with employees. But I did want to talk about that a little bit, because that's something that you have to deal with. I currently, inside all of my companies, we have well over 25 people that work for us. Even the employees that I have that are making over 6 figures a year right now, they all have baggage. There's always going to be problems. I actually talked to Pace Morby about this a few months ago. He said, if you want the best person in the United States for your business to come on board and work for you, it is between $250,000 and $350,000. And any less than that, you're going to take on some baggage. So they do laundry drop-off, which is a great way to make money with laundromats. Most laundromats are going to more wash, dry, fold than they are coin op, because wash, dry, fold is growing 10% a year in terms of sales nationwide. Coin operated laundry is only gaining about 2% a year. And if you factor in inflation, coin operated laundry is not growing year over year, but drop-off is. Wash, dry, fold, or pickup and delivery. Pickup and delivery is growing by 15% a year. So they've got a price chart of what they charge for doing comforters, $15, king comforters are $18. It's a great way to make money with your staff. They're on payroll, they have to be paid for anyway. So if they can do wash, dry, fold, it's a great way to make money. It's 3,000 square feet according to their property card, which is the perfect size for a laundromat. But I know that he had sent me a message saying that they're looking at ripping some walls out. So as per a conversation him and I had a couple days ago, he's looking at maybe removing a couple of these and putting more tanning beds here because he's doing great tanning business. But I have not ever seen a Dexter this old. Oh my gosh, it doesn't even have a data tag in the door. No, the nice thing is with Dexter equipment, typically you can open the door. We'll go over here. You can open the door on Dexter equipment. It'll tell you how old it is. These are Dexter T400 machines. These are the same ones I have at the laundromat. Yeah, 400s. But they're definitely older than I have. Oh, okay. The data plate's off of here, so it's either really old or it's just been removed. These are stainless steel drums, and the drum is in bad shape. The nice thing is with Dexter's, he can infinitely rebuild these, but he's got to get somebody. Roman's got to get somebody on his team qualified or able to rebuild the machines, because he's going to call the same laundry service company that I use at my laundromat. They're like probably 30 minutes away from here, and they charge 150 bucks an hour, and they charge about 150 bucks to show up. For them to come out and fix this one washer, it could be $350. Meanwhile, he could have a guy trained internally to do it, and it's 25 bucks an hour to fix a machine. And they're good machines. They'll last forever. These are probably B-board machines, which they're common boards. It's, you know, 100 bucks, 50 bucks to replace the circuitry up here. He's got several machines down here, which sucks for him because machines that are down they effectively cost you money because you can't make money off the machine. Kind of drops customer loyalty, which he's got a great business here, but theoretically it drops customer loyalty at a location, which has a cost associated with it. Normally, I recommend people replace their equipment after 15 years of usage. Oh my goodness, these are crazy old. I could send them to my Dexter rep, but this is the old style serial number. We pulled up the deed for the place. He purchased this place for $584,000. Now, the nice thing is he owns the real estate here. That money isn't wasted on a lease. He got 2 locations for that price. He had to pull all the equipment out of the second location, and he's in the process of moving it here, which is good for him, but it's a lot of money for a lot of old equipment. I haven't seen how old the other equipment is. It's a lot of Dexter equipment, which I love. I like Dexter. Realistically, should do an analysis on the real estate to figure out what it's worth. Started working with a company called Deal Machine, and they've been extremely invaluable on these kinds of videos because we look at Roman's laundromat that he spent all that money on, and I'm gonna have you wheel the camera around and look at that blue building. Deal Machine shows me that that building is worth almost $40,000. Gives me the name of the owner. Mr. Williamson owns the building. It shows how much they paid for it, how much it's worth, and it shows me realistically I can buy that place for $40,000. Meanwhile, here next to us is the Red Cross building, a Red Cross building. It's worth about $300,000. We could do a comp search on Roman's laundromat. The estimated underlying real estate value is $237,000. So the underlying real estate here is not worth tons of money, and Deal Machine gives me access to real-time data. We did a video yesterday where we were driving around in Cincinnati, Ohio, in a neighborhood that I have no clue about, and it gave me the phone number and email address of almost every single person that owns the real estate. So if I want to call Mr. Williamson that owns this blue commercially zoned property, I can call him without knocking on the door. Now, that's not always the most effective thing, but what is the most effective thing is to call, email, find them on Facebook, send them a letter, knock on their door, doing all of the above. Tanning beds, yeah, we've had a conversation about his tanning beds. They're just absolutely wild in terms of income. I never would have thought a tanning facility would make as much money as it does, but I talked to people in Circleville and they're actively asking me to start a tanning salon, which I have no interest in running one, but I sure as heck have interest in owning one if they're making $5,000, $10,000 a week like I've been told they are. And Roman has said, like I said earlier, Roman mentioned to me that they're making so much money off their tanning salon that there's single tumbler washers. He could replace those, put more tanning beds over here, do doubles on them, and end up with more capacity. He might even be underserved a little bit on his dry capacity. So one of the things that I mentioned to Roman that he should be doing is going to a 24/7 laundromat, because with him having a freestanding building, would probably be a better location. The thing is, he could secure his doors through electronic locks, like time lock doors. So if there's riffraff that comes in, he could lock them out. He could build a cage around his merch area that could be closed up every night. You know, when we did it to my laundromat, we boosted sales by 35%. He's in a community where there's a lot more people here, I haven't taken a look yet, but if he would be the only 24/7 location, then it's a situation he could increase his sales potentially 50%, because there's a lot of people that don't like coming in busy laundromats, so they are willing to come in overnight and do their laundry. I'm sure he's doing this, but I like to see bulkheads put together ASAP, because I don't know how many times when we were redoing our bulkhead, we had kids stick their hands in behind electrical service panels, like this electrical service panel right now. And we have found out that some of the, like the liquid tights on the service panels back out because kids shake them. You don't get a kid electrocuted. He's got a wonderful Hamilton coin changer, which is a wall mount. Most of the laundromats are going to in-wall changers. He doesn't take credit cards, which he should. He's got quarters are for laundry customers only. So the secret is, if he said, I mix random tokens in the change, it will eliminate his business competitors from coming and getting money. If he's put these signs up, then he deals with the same crap that I do at my laundromat. Competitor businesses like the Subway over there, no accusation Subway, of course. Some of the businesses will come to a laundromat and take all your quarters because they don't want to go to the bank. I wanted to break down some of the equipment numbers because it's something we shy away with on my non-live streams, because I wanted to explain to you how much money it would cost to totally revitalize this laundromat. So I just did an inventory of all the equipment that Roman has in there. Almost all of it's super old. Now, I haven't looked at his equipment. He sent me pictures of the other laundromat worth of equipment. But in this location, he has 16 30-pound washers, 12 20-pound washers, which they're newer, 4 60-pound washers, which are the really old Wasco mats that are almost as old as I am, or at least it feels like it. They're over 30 years old. He has 4 top loaders, and then he has 24 dryer pockets that are in there. Most of them are single tumblers. He's got 6 dual tumblers that are newer, which those are the nicer ones. But here's the deal with these costs. So if he goes in and replaces those 16 30-pound washers, they run, as of the moment of this recording, up retail-wise. Now, if he gets the YouTuber friends and family discount, which I don't get much of one, maybe with his size, he'll get the big discount, but they're $5,500 a piece. That's $88,000 to just replace that equipment. If he replaces the 4 larger machines, those are $15,000 a piece. That's $60,000 to replace that equipment. He has 18 dryer pockets. They run $8,500 a piece. That's $153,000 to replace that equipment. Like I said, he almost paid $600,000 for this location and the one he's closed down because the landlord would not renew his lease. He did pull all the equipment out there. He spent multiple days, or at least 2 days, physically removing the equipment. Let's say that's a wash. Let's say he got screwed on that equipment because it's an unknown. We're looking at bare minimum of $301,000 to go in and put new equipment in here to upgrade it. I'm not critical about my own deals, but I'm critical of other people's deals because I know so many people watch my YouTube channel. Obviously, a lot of people are watching Roman's channel, looking at these laundromats saying, oh, I'm gonna go buy myself a laundromat because it's an instant gold mine. There's laundromats that are instant gold mines. I've run into a lot. I've got a girl that I know in Connecticut. She's rocking and rolling with her laundromats. I got a guy that I know. He's in Arkansas. He started buying laundromats. There's people all over the United States that I know that have bought gold mines. But most deals are decent and you work them and make them into gold mines. If he finances the $301,000 in new equipment for this location, 8.5% interest, which is about average, 7-year note, so he doesn't do an SBA 7A deal. If he would run this laundromat for 3 months, he'd be eligible for small business administration money, which is really great for laundromats. If you've got a little bit of experience, they'll give you a 10-year loan. But if you would go to the manufacturer, right now they're between 7 and 8 years, 7 and 8 year loans. So his payment just to replace the equipment is $4,766 on top of the mortgage payment that he's already making. His estimated payment is $4,500 a month. So he's going to have to make $10,000 a month to get new equipment and make the payments on the location. Now, he's obviously moving a lot of merchandise. He's doing great with his tanning business. It's one of those situations where I wanted to buy a location like this and paid as much as he did for it, unless that other equipment's gold. I don't think he knew that so much of the equipment here was 30 plus years old. And the problem is all this equipment has a lifespan of 15 years. So what happens is he's going to almost keep somebody fully employed only doing maintenance on the equipment. So it would make more sense to install brand new equipment. $10,000 a month in debt service alone. That's before the people get payroll. That's before you start paying for utilities. That's before you start doing everything else. So there's a lot of obvious deferred maintenance that's going on in the building, which is nice because it's going to make sense for him to reinvest into the location. But you got like, you need new flooring in here all throughout the whole thing. Porcelain tiles, kind of the normal thing. He needs new doors. Whole facility needs painted. I would not complain if he would put a vending machine in here made in this century. This is an old, looks like an old Dixie Narco from the late 80s that's been upgraded off and on. I've offered to give him a couple vending machines, especially if he wants to do a vending machine for his merch. The problem is, my pain point with laundromats like this is I don't want someone watching my videos or Roman's videos and say, oh, I should go and pay $600,000 for a laundromat. Now, if they did the former owner a favor by overpaying for it or paying his asking price so they could retire, kudos to them that they had the money, almost $600,000 to spend on it. But the problem is I see that complaint or that issue talked about on our coaching clients, teaching clients. How many people send me DMs on Instagram? Oh, I found a laundromat. They want $1 million for it. The old elderly guy needs to retire, and it's not $1 million laundromat. I would say it's the greatest laundromat deal I've ever seen in the world. It's probably not as bad, but I'm getting to the point I want to have people show a little bit of caution. I got a DM or an email years ago. A guy spent $3 million on a laundromat in his neighborhood, assuming that he could take his whole entire pension out, put it in a laundromat, and absolutely print money. And he's not making hardly any money off his laundromat. He built way too nice of a location in a neighborhood that did not need a laundromat. And so now I'm trying to have a little bit of caution when I do deal analysis and breakdown. And I wanted to share the numbers with you.